Well, I've been holding myself off and doing this job because I'm just afraid it's going to be too hard, but nothing's really that hard. It just takes a little time. So what I did is I got the headliner here, and I'm just going to let it sit on the roof of the car. Alright, what I didn't show at the very beginning was you have to take off this rubber here. And in most cases it'll be cracked, it'll be ripped, it won't be in a good shape. But there are screws right behind here, okay, all the way. So that allows you to take off this rail where the rubber fits, screwed to the car, and it's got sealant here, so that completes the whole seal. Alright, so that's the first thing you have to do. The next thing you have to do is take off this pillar. You'll see it has one screw here, so that just pulls out and sort of just lifts out of the way. But that holds the molding, the plastic molding for the front here, and it also holds the molding for the side here. Okay, so once you take this off, then you can get behind there and start pulling the headliner out of the way. What we're going to do here is take this headliner off. As you can see, it is not in the best of shape. So we have several of these wires that go across. One, there's 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have to be very careful with these because each one fits in their own spot. And we also have another thing here in the corner. You can see there's 3 holes that each one fits in. So we're going to have to mark each one of these wires and mark which hole it goes to so that it fits right, because this was put in the factory, and I'm certainly not going to change what they did. As you can see here, it's old, it's just tired. So once again, over here, it has 3 holes. So we're going to mark every one of those so I know exactly where it goes. Here it is again. 3 holes. As you can see, the headliner is basically just falling apart. And the center one has clips where the wire, as you can see, where the wire goes. We have to take off the seat belts, the visors, rear view mirror, and then we'll get out our new headliner and start putting it together. Okay, so let me just start with the easy stuff. This guy down. Let's see, this is glued to metal. Also, it's glued way in the back over here. So these the cardboards I want to save because we can use it. I'll just put a new fabric on there. And I'm going to take these metal things off because I want to clean them so it's really nice and easy when I put new glue on. See, this stuff is so old, it's just falling off. But what I want to do is mark this right there. This one right there. It's got to be very important. That's where it's got to go. And I'm going to mark the other side too. In fact, I'm going to mark every one of these so I know exactly where this stuff goes. Okay, this is the seat belt. Okay, so what we're doing here is taking off 2 half-inch bolts, and that'll take off the They'll take off the seatbelt. And there's the other one. See, so when you look at it, sort of lifts off and it's got little clips. So you clip it back together. So I'll just mark this so I don't have to remember anything. So that's the driver's side. Now, hang on, let's take a look here on this side. We want to mark this too. This is the third one in the back. See, it's already marked. And I'm going to mark this band too. So let me take this off and mark this. Okay, now here I have this marked for number 5 because there's 5 bands going across, and I want to make sure I put them in the right spot. I also made sure I marked it over here. It's the last one, and same thing on that side. It's the last one. And there it is. So I gotta make sure I don't get all these confused. Okay, we'll just pry this plastic lens off. Even though it's cracked and needs to be replaced, we'll just take it off nice and neatly for the practice. Notice how this center rod here doesn't have a hole to go in the frame. It just hooks onto these clips here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark these so I know where they go. Okay, so okay, we broke that one, we broke that one, and we broke that one. Yep, they're all going to break. So guess we're going to order all new ones. Okay, the next 2 things, we'll take out the clips for the seat belts. The other thing I did is I put little marks here so I know where those 2 clips went. I also marked over here so I would know basically where the bolts are for the main seat belt, and also put a little mark here so I know where the clip went for like the coat hanger rack. So let me take these out. This is just a Phillips screwdriver, and then we can take out another rib. And we're going to take out the visors. There's 3 screws right here. This hooks in here. So we'll just buzz these off. We don't have to be careful now. Okay, so okay, just goes a little clip, and there it is. All right, so we'll take the other visor off. And these are for the seat belts, the shoulder harnesses. I remember these because no one used to use them. I want to make sure they go back right in that same hole. Now, Same thing with this side. Mark it here. Okay, so this is number 1, 2, 3. This is number 4. So. Okay, so that takes care of all the rods. Okay, what I'm going to do is take all these strips off so that I can get a wire brush or whatever. I'm going to clean this all off so that when I put this back on, it sticks like this really, really nice. So I'll label these because I want them to go exactly in the same position. In fact, what I will do is just put a couple marks on there so they line up perfect. Take this one off, and then I'll take this one. I'll just mark it different so I know it goes in the same spot. Okay, this is passenger side, P. Alright, this is the back one. Okay, we have new clips. So they just go in and give them a twist. That's all they are. They just have a tab here. Then they have a little clip here for the wire, and then here's for the rod that goes across. Okay, so we have all the clips on. The wires just clip right in here. That's for the dome light. So what we have to do is just cut a little hole in the headliner. Here is the headliner. I left it on the hood of the car so it'd get nice and hot. So what I'm going to do is put in the rods. Now remember, we laid them all out here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I also made sure that I put a D over here for the driver's side so they go in just like they're supposed to. Okay, so we'll do the first one, which is the center. Here. Just slowly slide it in there. I'll take off the tape, don't need that anymore. Okay, that's one. Now this one will be number 4, which is the second one from the back. And the very last one, which is number 5. Okay, so what we're going to do is put this rod, remember we marked this, and we also have one on this side, and we marked it again, so we just have to get it in here. There it is. Okay, now we'll do the next one. But what we have to do is we got to cut the material a little bit so we can get the bar out, and we'll do this one too. Okay, now that we can see it, so there we are. That's the one we want right there. And here we are again. See, it just snaps right into position. It forces itself up. Okay, and then when we do this one, the center one, what we're going to have to do is cut the material. So the metal sticks out. Okay, that will stay there. Okay, right here's the 4 screws for the light. So let's just make a little slit right here. Not big. Stuff these wires through. Then we'll come back over here. Stick that one up there. And here's another spot where the wire goes. Then we'll do the last one on this side. So this thing fell down. The reason why it fell down, because we put it in the wrong slot. We put it here in the center one instead of where it belongs. And you can see here's the old clip. Looks like I marked it here, blue, so it goes here. Versus here is just a straight line. Make sure the wires go through. And we cut away the material. Okay, there's one. There's 2. And there's the last one. Okay, so right here, we'll stop for a second and we'll put the bars or the rods in these 2 ribbons here. Okay, this is number 2. And we put the tape on this side so it'll go on the driver's side. And we'll just feed that all the way through so it comes out on the other side. And I already cut 2 little slots in here. You know, and that way the rod sticks out so it goes inside the little hole. Now let me get the last rod. Okay, remember we marked this. Number 1, D for driver's side. I don't know if it makes any difference, but I'm not taking any chances. So this is hard enough. Okay, there it goes. So now, let's get inside the car, put them in the right holes. Alright, we have the rod in here, but we need to cut a little bit more. But it's not coming through. Okay, that's one side. Okay, there's the other. So, put this side in first, see, right here. where we marked it. Okay, now we're going to come on this side where we marked it. All right, look at that. It's getting easier. All right, now this part goes right in that hole where we marked. This one here goes in this front hole right over here where we marked it. And there we go. Now we have all the rods in, and you'll see it's starting to take shape. Okay, so now we have to start tacking the front piece here to the edge, this top edge over here. Okay, so that's the next step. Okay, so now that I have it basically up there, you see I got all the rods all set up. And I'm also looking to see over here that the rod is next to the seam over here and over here. Also, see right here, this little notch, that is the center. So what I did is I want to make sure that this is exactly centered. Now on the back, I measured it from this point here all the way to this point, divided it in half, and cut myself a little notch. So now I know exactly where center is. So what I'm going to do is stretch it this way, and then I'm also going to stretch it to the front. Now in the front, I already have little clips here. Tighten those up just a little bit more. Put a couple more clips in. Then I'm going to do exactly the same thing to the back. And then after I get the front all settled, then I'm going to go to the sides and do the sides and clip these in. And also I'm going to have to cut this white material here. Cut this white material so that it will allow, over on this side, to stretch or to bend, because this is holding it up there, and when I pull it down, I have to release the tension here to have a nice smooth surface. And I'll show you that later on. But now I'm going to go to the back, and I'm going to put clips in. Now here's the little clips I'm going to put in. So I sort of stretch it. And put it right behind that band, or that metal bar. I don't know if you can see this. But see, it's got some wrinkles in here. Well, we'll take that out by going from side to side, and they'll all disappear. But I'm just trying to get an idea of how much material we need over here, because I'm going to cut some of this off. But this is, once again, measure 3 times and cut once, because once you cut it, that's the ball game's over with. Be careful. Now in this area here, see it's bulging here, so we want to pull it tighter and that'll straighten it out. But we have to cut some of this material right here, so that, because here is the bar, so if we cut it, it'll make it look nicer on the inside. Now remember, don't cut the material, just cut the white stuff. See, so I just cut it right here, right where the bar is, and then when you pull it over, you'll get a nicer look, because the way it will pull in. The next thing we have to do is remove this deck. So, see, it's just glued on here, but it's got two speakers on either side. We have to take these two speakers off, disconnect the wires so we can use them again. Okay, now that the speakers are out, thumbs up. And that's it. You see the old one has the speaker holes. The new one does not. It has these just the holes for the sound to come through. So, and they're just a little bit, it's a little bit longer. So I folded these up over here so it goes along the side. So, and it's got the foam here and the extra go over the top. So let's put this thing in. Here's the new deck. Notice that it's turned up on either side. So we'll just slip it right in there. So it'll go right in here, right up on the side, on both sides over here. And it has enough over here. Then we'll just put some clean this off and put some glue here. Also, what that does is the way it's set over here when we put these other panels on. That'll create just a nice fit right over there. So I'll just apply this contact cement, put a little here on the foam, and then how much here. And I'll just do that all the way across. And I'll let it dry, and then I'll just fold this over and it'll all stick in here. Okay, now it's just been for a little while here, 15-20 minutes. I'll just roll this over. Let's see how nice that just sticks. Then I'll fold this piece over. This center mark is right there, and then we can start pulling the clips on. And then see how it's coming out, so we know this has got the right tension. And we'll just work a little bit more over here on the sides. And also, we'll see, we want to fix this edge a little bit here. And we do that by pulling this back and cutting this white material. But you have to be very careful not to cut the top. Just want to cut the white material, and that will relieve the stress. Here it is, there. And so now when we pull it, it's got a better look to it. See, it doesn't have that hardness. It's got a nice even flow. Okay, so we'll do that for some of these other ones here, and we'll just continue to put the clips on until we get it with all the wrinkles taken away, and then we're going to do section by section of pulling these off, putting the contact cement on there, and rolling it back up. But also, with putting the clips here, we'll know how much to cut. And you got to remember, if you cut, measure 3 times and cut once, because there's no going back. So that's where we are right now. So let me put more clips on, tighten it up a little bit more, and we'll come back. Okay, so what we're going to do here is just pull these back. Now that we know basically where they go. And we're going to take some contact cement. And without making too big of a mess, we're going to coat this whole thing. Got to make sure we get it on the other side. So it'll be on the back side of this bracket here. Okay, and then we will put it on this side. And you see that it's creased a little bit. So it makes it a little easier here. And we'll just pull off a couple more clips. And we'll do the back side over here. See if we can get some on there. This is a lot easier to do if the front window and the back window is not installed, but that's not how we did it. Okay, so we'll just let this dry for about 10 minutes and come back. Alright, here we are. Let's just do a couple places. Stretch it a little bit, but not too much. Let's see if we can get it just a little tighter. And then the sideways pull will take out the wrinkles. Okay, so here. This is just a flat, no sharp edges, so I can get it on the back side of this metal rail. Okay, it seems to look okay. So we'll just get some over here. So that way we can do this whole area. Give this a second to dry. Alright, here now we just squeeze that right up there. Put a little clip in here to hold it. Okay. We'll let this dry. Alright, now that we got the front done, we're going to do the back. Let me take these clips off. Okay, so we have to do the metal part first here. Now it's dry on both sides, so it's just, we got to get it so it's tight, not too tight. Okay, we'll come over here. See, these things go in there too, so that helps. Don't spill that stuff, whatever you do.